Stop scrolling. It's your brother from the other mother, MerciMerc, and I have something for you guys. It's story time. Put in the comments if you guys are down for a cool story time. I told you guys a story about Dick Gregory, Dr. Claude Anderson. Oh, nope. How I caught a ginormous fish in Central Iceland. Dr. Claude Anderson. You know what I mean? Today, I have Dr. Sabi. Check these photos out. Now that we got that out the way, I want to talk about presidential candidate of 2024, Dr. Cornel West. I think he's an esteemed brother. He has a very impressive resume. I'm going to just tell you a little bit from what I know about him. Into Wikipedia. You guys could check it out for yourself. He's born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's also a graduate of Harvard University, and I know he taught at Princeton. I believe he got his doctorate at Princeton as well. Besides being a doctor of theology and random guest appearances speaking on political views on the Bill Maher show and Tavis Smiley, and he did a rap song with KRS One, and you know, he's graced the stage with people like Mos Def. I know a different side of him. Met the brother in New York City, Brooklyn, at the Brooklyn Marriott. I'm gonna say it was about 2008, and he was giving us a lot of history on when there was riots in the Watts area around the civil rights movement. Man, he has some real impactful stories, you know, some that I'm proud to say it tickled my ears. I told a story one time that he was at some type of riot, and him and a young Curtis Mayfield was at the event. And he turns around, "Curtis, you daggone fool." He says, "What are you doing with that freaking guitar, man? Don't you know we could get killed?" He said, the young Curtis Mayfield said, "Well, Cornel, if I don't get killed, I'ma write a song about it." I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but that tickled my soul. I cracked up, man, because Curtis Mayfield is one of my favorite singers, you know what I mean, from the 70s, you know. Hustler. You know, it's so many songs, you know, I can't name them all, but we love Curtis Mayfield. And if you don't know about him, you should Google him too. Not steering away from him being boots on the ground in the riots. And, you know, when I look at these other candidates, they're not really on that side of the struggle. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not nothing to take away from anyone, but I'm saying I would possibly go for someone who's been fighting all their life to do the right thing. I think it's safe to say that a man that has so many outstanding qualities in political affairs, that he's a doctor in theology, so he knows the order of things. And I believe, listen, win, lose, or draw, a man that puts God first can never be a failure. So that's a kudos for me, if nothing else. I learned from Dr. West that in the 70s or the 80s, the Apollo got in trouble. And the young James Brown bought the Apollo, and it brought esteem to Harlem, New York. People came from far and wide to see James Brown perform at the Apollo. The lines was wrapped around the corner. James Brown put his ushers in tuxedos and made sure he served them all coffee to wait in line to see James Brown perform. According to Mr. West, James Brown wasn't only a good performer, but he was a great performer when he provided that service to the people. And he planted a seed. You know, let's think about actors and directors. You have some really good actors and directors, am I right? You know, what's the difference between a good and a great actor is if they actually provide a service to our people, you know? Let's face it, Brother Chadwick passed away. We will always remember that dude for playing James Brown, Jackie Robinson, Wakanda Forever. He could play any kind of terrible acting bad man in a movie, but we'll remember him for the goodness that we felt from those great movies. That's the difference between a good actor and a bad actor. He's not here any longer, and he doesn't have anything to do with the story, but the teachings of Dr. Cornel West, that's the difference between someone who's doing something good and someone's doing something great. I take these kind of techniques in my platform as well. I try to bring my best to everyone, you know, to make sure everyone leaves with something, you know, nuggets. If you know me and my content, I separate the wheat from the chaff as well. A good farmer, good gardener, they plant a lot of vegetables. A great farmer, a great gardener, he's sharing with the community that he lives in. It's just a righteous way to live. And I got that from Dr. Cornel West. I know that this meeting happened 16 years ago, but the seed was still planted and it's still growing within me, you know? And I'm just sharing it with you. Hopefully I could be planting seeds inside you guys. I'm just giving you guys the best that I got. This is when it gets good. So after the presentation, we all got to meet him. I said, I got to shake your hand, brother. Can I shake your hand? Yes, you can, brother. I said, hey, man, do you mind, give me an autograph. My mama would never believe that I met Dr. Cornel West today. Oh, brother. I said, yeah, Dr. West, you had a great presentation. I didn't know you had a doctor's degree in theology. I thought you was a political science guy with, Race Matters. And I believe you had another book, Democracy Matters. I'm about to buy all your books. He was like, yeah, brother. He stood so tall, it looked like it was a hanger in his back, He's like, yeah. I said, and you remind me of Malcolm X in his prime. He said, yeah, brother, thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you. And since I'm balling on a budget, I'm about to buy your book from this discount online store and purchase your books from. I said, yeah, I seen your book online for about $1. My man said, you seen my online for $1? I said, unfortunately, I have. He said, all right, brother, it's not about the money. It's about the knowledge. I'm happy if you would just get the knowledge from my books. And we shook hands. This is the moment that pretty much changed my life with Brother West. I said, brother, I got to get a picture with you. He said, you want a picture with me? I said, yeah, man, let's take this picture right now. And before you know it, some of the people who had invited him to the Brooklyn Marriott at the time, they grabbed him by his shoulder. He said, come on, Dr. West. We have this big, hall here. There's a bunch of spread of food everywhere. It's a chandelier in the middle of the Brooklyn Marriott. That was the room we were in. And they have the photographers there, and they wanted to take a picture with him. So he said, okay, wait a minute. I'm not taking any pictures with anybody until I take a picture with my brother. We looking around. Where's his brother? Oh, me. I must be in the front row. I mosey up to the front row where he was. And this guy told me, he said, look, man, Okay, you got to take a picture with Cornel. You have to sign this and sign a release form. And, you know, here we are taking pictures. The guy was just shooting a lot of lights. Flick, 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 flick. And it was a song out at the time with Too Short and Snoop Dogg. You know, it's everybody freeze, 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 cheese, 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 cheese. I mean, you would think we took about 25 pictures, me and Cornel. So the guy said, don't worry, we'll get your photos out to you in 5 to 10 days. I'm still waiting for them to take these pictures, right? They never sent it. And the guy never took any pictures of me at all. He just was setting off the flash. That sucks. But I never forgot that night. I said, I'm going to get my picture with Dr. Cornel West. I had put that in the ether. The universe will know I must take a picture with Dr. West because I was robbed of a picture with Dr. West. Ushers in 2008, 2009, and I wrote my first book. So about 2010, I said, I'm going to go see Dr. Cornel West. He was playing at Rutgers University. So we drove, me and my girlfriend at the time, we might have dated for 10 years. Drove to Rutgers University to meet Dr. West. And of course, he did another great performance with some other guest speakers. I said, I am going to get him my book. So I said, hey, I had my girlfriend at the time to take a picture of us. And he said, hey, I know you. Musical. Right, brother. Merciful. Yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I said, hey, brother, you know what I'm saying? Take a copy of my book, man. And he said, okay, cool. He said, let me see this book right here. Hey, this says volume 1. Okay. I know you got a lot more books in here, brother. Of course, I had dreadlocks at the time, you know? And that's Dr. West holding my book. I was like blown away. You know, you could have bought me for $1 that day. It was so cool. And we talked. They said, hey, brother, I want to see you write 7 books before it's all over. I said, 7? I was pulling out a dreadlock writing 1, you know? But I got the picture that I wanted with Dr. West, which was really, really dope. Since then, I wrote 2 more books. This is volume 2, also inspired. And this is the 4L project, which is called The Living, the Learning, and Loving of Lyrics by MerciMerc, and of course, our sister Beverly Leonard. Maybe 2 years later from that, it was about 2012, I saw Dr. West again. He was doing a rally at One Police Plaza in Manhattan by my old school, Pace University. And I saw him again. He was like, mystical. I was dying. So that's another picture of me at Dr. West, man. Always a good time. You know, he's a positive brother. I'm voting for the brother. Hey, you know, if you guys don't want to throw your vote away, vote for the brother. You know what I mean? This brother was one of the only people who was really holding President Barack Obama accountable when he was in office. And even though Obama just seemed like a real smart dude, Cornel West was challenging him on a lot of politics and how things should be, because he was there. He was one of the people who paved the way, you know, and he was boots on the ground during the civil rights movement. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, that speaks volumes. If you don't know the story about Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, there's a song. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. I think that's the Gap Band. Rumor has it, that song is about Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's so much things that's in the fiber of what's happening in America. And, you know, we need people like that in office. This is not a paid promo. I just feel people need to really support people who got boots on the ground. I mean, you know what? I hear so many promises, what they gonna do for us, and so on, so on, so. I'm still mad at the present administration on what they did with the Farm Bill, but I'm not even gonna say that. You know, people could come out here and debate and whatever. Listen, I don't care about what the other guy, all he's was talking about sneakers. So, hey, if you enjoyed my story, hope it wasn't too long. If you like what I'm dropping, put something in the comments. If I made you laugh, if you learned something, if you're gonna support the brother, if you're not gonna support the brother, you know, listen, I hope you enjoyed my stories as much as I enjoyed bringing them to you. Story time with Brother MerciMerc. God bless you. Enjoy your day.